Hey everyone, welcome back. In this Excel tutorial, we are going to learn how to concatenate in Excel. So many times we have a requirement. Say for example, you got a lot amount of data and you have this first name, middle name, last name, and there are many other scenarios wherein you have the data which you want to concatenate and create one single string. So in this case, say for example, we have first name, middle name, last name, and we want to concatenate and write the full name here. Now, if you have to do this for these records here, there are 4 records. We can do it manually, right? We can simply concatenate and write it manually. That's okay. But if we have thousands of records there and want to do it efficiently in Excel, what we need to do? So we have certain options within Excel, and concatenate function in Excel will help us to concatenate these values and quickly use that formula to replicate to all other values in the Excel sheet. Right. So say for example, I want to concatenate these names, first name, middle name, and last name, and write full name here. Okay. So there are multiple ways to do it. So first way I'll cover is concatenate function. So if you just simply say for example, I want to write full name here and want to concatenate these values here. So simply start with equal to sign and say concatenate. And you will find 2 functions there. So concat is available, I think, in the latest version, or in the recent versions this formula has been added, and concatenate has been there for a while. So if you use concatenate, it will have backward compatibility as well. So using concatenate, if you are using the older version of Excel, will still work, but if you use concat, it will work in the recent version or the latest versions of the Excel. I'm not sure which version exactly the concat function was introduced, but I think it's somewhere 2016 version, but we'll understand both of that, right? So say concatenate, we'll use concatenate first, and you'll see that we have certain parameters here. So we want to pass the parameters that we want to concatenate or add or combine together as a single string, followed by comma separated, right? So the first text that we want to combine is just select the column there or the cell there, and then press comma on your keyboard, select the second, and then press comma again and select the last name, right? So these are the 3 cells that we want to combine, or the values that are within these cells that we want to combine, and then just close the bracket and enter, right? So you'll see that the name has been concatenated, but there is a problem here, right? So there is no spacing between the first name, middle name, and last name, right? So how we can add the spacing there? It is also very simple. So simply in the formula here, so if we select this cell here, you will see at the top here we have the formula. We simply need to add the space there. So to add the space between 2 of the cells, just add one more comma there, right? And between these commas, so it will be considered as one more extra sort of a parameter, and within this parameter we'll simply add the space there. So to add a space there, we simply need double quotes, right? And put a space there, okay, like this. And then similarly between C3 and D3, we'll add a comma there, and then double quotes, and within double quotes we'll add a space there, okay, and hit enter. And now you will see that we have concatenated the first name, middle name, and last name here in the full name cell absolutely fine, right? Let me make this bold, right? These are the headings, right? So now if we have thousands of rows here, what we simply need to do is we simply need to just hover over in the right hand side until this plus sign appears to quickly copy this formula for all of the rest cells there, or rest values there. So if I simply copy it, you will see that it has concatenated all the rest values, and here because there is no middle name, so it has just combined first name and last name, right? And then you have this name concatenated as well on all other names. So now if you have thousands and thousands of rows, it becomes really efficient and quick to concatenate all these values and create a full name, right? This is one of the practical scenarios where concatenate function will be really helpful. Okay, now let me use, so I have used concatenate function. Let me use concatenate or concat and see if there are any differences, right? So it will do exactly the same thing. So if I say concat, and then you will see that it is again similar sort of function. accepts the parameters, right? So first cell, comma separated, second cell, the number of cells that you want to combine there, and then close the bracket and enter. So the result wise, it is absolutely same. There is no difference. So both functions are absolutely same. They'll give you the same results, and it's just the concat is added recently, and concatenate has been there in the older versions of the Excel as well. Okay, so this is one of the way. Now here in concat, I have to add spaces. I'll do exactly the same thing as I did in the concatenate, right? So adding the comma there and then double quotes and adding the space there. Okay, so you'll see that the result is absolutely same. Now there is one more way to concatenate the values within these cells. Now that is with the ampersand symbol. Okay, so if I simply, let me remove this. Okay, now here itself I'll show you the other method. So I want to combine these three text to make the full name. Okay, so what we need to do is simply start with the equal to sign. Okay, and then select the first cell there. All right, and then start with ampersand. So put ampersand, and now between first cell and second cell there needs to be a space there. So I'll use the quotes there, double quotes, and then here I will put the space there, and then again put the ampersand, okay, and the second cell, right? And after second cell we will again put the ampersand and then double quotes, put the space there, again ampersand, right, and the third cell there. Okay, and hit enter, and you will see the results are exactly same, right? So with the ampersand or with this particular approach, you can combine as many cells as you want, right? So basically if I now just drag and drop, you will see the results are absolutely similar in both the cases. Here we have used concatenate function, and here we have used ampersand, right? So first cell ampersand and then the space with the double quotes there, right? So double quotes and then put a space there with the space bar, and then ampersand, add the second cell, again ampersand, and add the third cell, and you will get that result, right? So this is the practical scenario where you will need concatenate function to concatenate different texts in your cell. Now the another example is, say for example, you have this very common example. So you have application when the person fills all the data, it is available into different cells. Say for example, house number, street number, when they fill their addresses, right? So you want to combine everything and want to get the full address, right? So this exercise will be really easy when we know concatenate, either using the ampersand or concatenate function, right? So I personally prefer concatenate a lot because it's easy and easy to use. So I'll simply say concatenate, right? And here we'll simply start with the cells. So comma separated, select all the cells and close the bracket, right? And now for adding the spaces, as we have already discussed, we'll simply go ahead and add the spaces between the cells, right? So let me quickly add the spaces there. Okay, so after adding the spaces, you can see that the values are available, the full address is available with the spaces there. Now say for example, I have to also add comma in between, right? So I can easily do that. So instead of along with the spaces, with between these two double quotes, I can simply add a comma there as well, right? Because I want to have a comma between 34, which is the house number, and then street number. So I can say cell and then followed by comma and then space, and within that space I'll specify the comma in the starting, right? So I'll simply add that comma here and then hit enter, and you will see now 34 comma Lucknow Street, Werribee, Melbourne, Australia has been created as a full address. I'll simply drag and drop this formula here, and all other cells where this address will be combined as a full address. Okay, so this is briefly how helpful concatenate or concat function is within Excel. There are different ways that we have discussed in this video to concatenate the values of the text in the Excel cells. I hope this was helpful and will be helpful for you to quickly concatenate the values. Thank you very much for watching.